Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome to Be So Light. There are going to be some changes coming up. I'm just waiting to hear back from my designer on some of the avenues that we are looking at for Be So Light. And for me personally, because energetic wise, it's sad with everything that's coming down, but it's not really too sad. So tonight, I got a surprise for y'all. Let's talk about this, shall we? Because I am just in love with this. So I went to Shasta on Saturday to pay respect to one of my mentors, medicine woman in Mount Shasta, Aida. And I really, really wanted to pay respect to her and her son, who's really up there, bless his heart, doing a lot of renovation on her home and everything because she has taken ill. So she is making her journey to the other side. She's on hospice care. So I wanted to pay respects in that way. And so while I was up there, I did that. I did drumming at the mountain, like I always like to do. And I was gifted two of her drums. That was when I first met her. She was playing on her Aztec drum in um, for Lodge, and then on the last time we did Lodge together, she had her traditional red drum, and so I was gifted those two. Her son wanted me to caretake those two, and I just said, "I'll take these two right here," and he said, "Cool. I would love to have you have them." So I feel very honored and very happy about owning that and having those. So, as I went to um, Soul Connection, Spirit told me I needed to go in there. And I said, okay. I went into Soul Connection and they just got them in, the galactic calendars. They just got them in. And it was so funny. They just put them out, and here I come. I'm like, perfect, because I kept seeing it, and Spirit wanted me to get one of those because what if the internet goes down? And if it goes down, hold on one second. No, no, no. Don't turn it down. Look, I just need to pick it up. Leave your music up and drink your water. Stay hydrated. Okay, sorry guys. I just had to step in, make sure she drinks her water. Okay, so anyway, so I go into Soul Connection. And I need to say something on here. A lot of times I have people that come onto my page, my channel, and welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't consent to any negativity. I don't consent to any algorithms and archon viruses and any kind of crazy stuff. I don't consent to those lower vibrations. So when you come into my space, I am metaphysical. I am all about the higher realms of creation. I'm all about the connection to source without any manipulations. Anyway, I've been like this since I was born. So 56 now, do the math. It ain't gonna change. It's not going to change. Anyway, um, so those of you that are kind of watching me and you are of a different belief and whatever, believe what you want to believe. That's your belief, that's your timeline, that's your experience, and that's for you. This is my timeline, my experience, and my life divine. That's what I'm doing. So there is to it. So I want you to know that when I went into Soul Connection, there was Spirit was telling me, "Oh, I need you to get a sword." And I said, "A Selenite sword." I said, "Oh, you mean the little blade ones and the little smaller ones?" No, no, this is an actual really nice size sword that you need to get. And they go, "What?" So yeah, get a sword. So I said, "Okay, I'll go ahead and get this." Hold on, I want to make sure I adjust the light. So I went ahead and went over to the thing I was looking for him, and he said, "There's two of them." And so I walked over to the shelf. There was two swords there, and the first one I picked up, it was kind of like, hmm, I wasn't really feeling anything. It felt kind of awkward. Then I picked up the other one, and it literally went. It was like a sizzle sound and a crack, and it started vibrating. And I was like, I work with Selenite all the time. Wow, this is crazy. So I got, are you ready? This. And there is a reason why I got this. This is 12 inches from here to here. And this is about, I think, 5 or 6 inches right here. It measures about 19 inches long. I think it's about 19. Um, it's probably about 19 or 18. But it is amazing. When I picked it up, it was like, whoa. And the energy from it, when you're working with it, it really just brings in so much light energy. This is for wah, dealing with war, spiritual warfare, and dealing with energies that are coming in and that are wreaking havoc through your etheric and your mind, your emotional self, and your physical and spiritual self. Okay. So I wanted to share with you what this selenite, because a lot of people take it for granted. First of all, with selenite, rule of thumb, do not get it wet unless you are making medicine out of the smaller pieces. When you get something like this, don't get it wet and do not put oil on it. Okay. It doesn't need to be cleansed in any way, shape, or form because it's of its own pure light. Okay. So selenite is a spiritual activation, communion with the higher self. Spirit guides and angels. Yeah, just imagine all the direct connections you can make with this. It works element with wind, and it works with the chakras of the third eye, the crown, and transpersonal and ethers. It works through the eighth and through the 14th above the head. Okay, so it's working with the soul star and on up. From now, I want you to hear me again. It's working from your eighth all the way up to the 14th dimension. That's what this does. Okay, this is what it's working with. Look at the light on that. I'm not playing. This is like one of those things where you get it and it holds its own light. Okay, so this was $20. Hey darling, $20 in Shasta. Okay, at Soul Connection. Bruce and Catherine, the owners of Soul Connection, if you needed something like this and you wanted to get something like this, then you need to make sure you let them know. Get the have them. They can send it to you if you need it delivered to you. If he has any more in stock, if he doesn't have it, he has the connections to get this for you. I definitely highly recommend in this time that if you are not working with selenite, you need to get one. If you have quartz crystal and you're working with it, great. If you're working with your Lemurians, great, because now is the time to really hone in on keeping your energy clean and really bringing in that energy. Sage Goddess works with a pretty wand. She has a pretty wand that has the light spiraled up, and she works with her wands to call in the circle and then to take the circle down. This is solely for cutting cords, moving energies, doing battle. And I'm not playing. So you should get your selenite. Have your selenite on hand. And I'm trying to just keep the light just right. There we go. So get your selenite and start working with it because it's really good for healing when you're cutting cords out of your space. It's good for working on pain areas of the body. It's good for that. So, and let's see, when one attaches other stones to selenite, the energies are magnified many times. So, if you wanted to get creative and put like different stones on the handles, you can do that. But I just wanted it from what Spirit is saying for me to use it just the way it is because we're in energetic war times right now. And obviously, there's stuff going on different platforms. And I just, you know what? It's really amazing to me that there are certain platforms on YouTube that are gross, murderous, dark. They stay on. But anyone coming on talking light and talking information or something that's guiding, healing, whatever, they want to get rid of you. Kind of feels weird. I thought this was a freedom place to come. It says you too, your tube, YouTube. It means me, my tube. So obviously it has a lot to do with people want to control what people put up. Now, I'm not up here doing anything harmful to anybody, just teaching and doing what I do. But yet and still it'll be interesting taggings going on with that. But Brandon, what's his name? The Russell. He can talk and say all kind of stuff. He don't get dinged. He don't have any problem. Maybe because he's a lot of the certain channels they're corporated. So if you're a corporation or if you're like an LLC corporation type of thing, they don't mess with you because it's all about legally you can go after their ass. So I don't know what that's all about. It shouldn't even be like that anyway. I'm just saying. But just know I thought it was kind of interesting because one person that I used to follow, yeah, I thought it was she had a lot of information she was teaching, and she had to go on to Patreon and start teaching over there, and she had to leave YouTube. And then another one who was doing a lot of teachings, she lives in Hawaii, and she did all of her teachings, and then boom, she was done. She wasn't on YouTube anymore. So all of her old stuff, Lisa Transcendent Brown, she just left her stuff here, but she's busy still doing her work. She's a busy person. And I just find it very interesting in this day and time. But you know what? I have to look at the flip side too. It is an old paradigm, it is an old energy that is not for anyone's highest good. So I guess in a way, it does make a lot of sense that it's doing what it's doing. But when I look at it from that point of view, I kind of just say, well, it is an old paradigm. And with everything going I'm sure this will be one of those platforms that'll go down because the frequency is going up. And if you can't stay on that frequency, and you don't make the necessary changes in your heart and come from a good place and with love, and you don't come from that place, you are not going to make it any higher. And as a matter of fact, anybody, and this is the best part of all, let me grab my sword when I say this. As a matter of fact, anyone who is vibrating at a very low frequency will not make it to the middle part of five or the lower end of five or higher or being in six or seven. You're not going to make it. It's gonna take you time to get there. But the ones that are doing the work, the ones that are doing the fighting, the ones that are going inside, the ones that are connecting with their higher self, the ones that are listening and they're saying, "To hell with this job, I'm done." Those employers, this message is for you. If your employees are being paid low money an hour and they cannot make their rent and cannot now pay for the high price of gas and the high price of food right now, and you are making money and you're going on trips and buying nice cars and doing all that stuff, and your employees are creating that energy for you, you need to shift your thinking. You need to shift it because everybody deserves to be able to afford to be able to live in their homes without worrying that they're not going to be able to make their bills. You need to shift it. Go beyond it. You're gonna be blessed anyway. And I'm gonna share that story that I shared one time before. And it was about the burger place in Vallejo. I want to say it was Bud's Burgers. Yes, Bud Burgers. That burger place in Vallejo, his story was, and I said, "What kept you so successful?" Because I interviewed him. I just wanted to interview him at the time. I think I was doing a school project and I wanted to interview him. And he talked about the fact that he says, "Well, I have this business. I love this business, and I hire people that I feel that would enjoy being a part of my business, and I pay them well because I don't want to deal with turnovers. They can't afford to take care of themselves because I'm not paying them adequately. And besides, it shows that, now get this, this is a man back in the time when I was in high school. I'm 56 now, do the math. Says this, says it just like this. He says, "Because I am abundance and have prosperity, I need to be able to share that with my employees to make sure they have the same." Yeah. So if you come from a place of knowing that you have wealth and you have good money coming into your company, and your employees should be sharing in that, because if it wasn't for your employees, you wouldn't be having a business. You wouldn't be having anybody help you. And that's how I see this. Because I've worked for a lot of different companies who nickel and dime me an hour. And nursing was like the worst. You go to school, you do all that education, get all those degrees, and then they nickel and dime you for all the years of service that you do for those hospitals and all the risk factors that you take on with being a nurse working with patients. I can't tell you how many times I took care of people and then find out the next day, oh, they had something highly contagious. Oh, I got to go home and strip everything now and cleanse everything because nobody knew what they really had. Can't tell you how many times that's happened in the nursing career. And I think the worst thing is sitting in an evaluation, a job evaluation. And I think this is the worst. Any employer that's doing this right now, I hope your higher self is correcting you. Your employee comes in and you give them an evaluation and you're going to give them a raise. I think this is the worst, lower vibrational thing ever. You're so happy that you just gave them a 25 cents raise, a 50 cents raise, or even a dollar raise when you know that's going to be eaten up in taxes? Really? I'm saying it because those have been some of my experiences as I was growing up working for companies like that that really don't care about their employees and they treat them like that. So if you're still on that frequency and that vibration, this is time for you to get an upgrade. Okay. So I don't know why I had to say that, but obviously it flips both ways. The employee and the employer, you have those choices. And I totally get it. There's certain companies that you enjoy working for, and it has really good benefits with that. I love that. But I'm talking about the ones that nickel and dime you and insult you at the end of the day. Oh, I gave you a raise, 35 cents raise. And you know what? I'm going to tell you this. I remember working at Kaiser. I'm going to say it like it is. And I went in for an evaluation. Everybody was getting evaluations that day. And I think at that time, I had already been with Kaiser for, I think, 5 or 6 years or something. And the raise that I got was, I think it was a 65 or a 75 cents raise. And when I got that raise, I said, "Why is this so low?" And do you know what she told me? She says, "We can't give you a full on dollar or $2 raise because it will top you out too fast. We want to make sure that you stay with us. So we have to just do it in lower increments so that you'll stay." I'm like, "What? So you rather pay me a little bit at a time lower instead of giving me good support financially?" So I'm just saying, get yourself some good selenite because it really helps you to stand in yourself and helps you to cleanse and helps you to cut those cords, helps you to keep your crown clear because this is the place where energies like to go to get you and get you in the chest and back, neck, and lower back. Just start cleaning that up. But yeah, get that selenite going. I was really happy when I got this and how it just working with it, just grabbing it and just holding it and just if I'm feeling funky like I was yesterday and the day before after dealing with all of the stuff that's going on with Aida and you know the transition she's going through, I really just got this out and just start clearing it. What a difference it makes. Selenite is a beautiful stone to work with, but you just can't get it wet and you can't put oils on it. Don't be doing that. Leave it alone. Just keep it wrapped up really good and use it. Now's the time to really get your light on and really use that energy for clearing and cleansing and doing that. Now I want to talk about something. You guys need to go check out this on here on YouTube. Um, Balenciaga. I'm gonna spell it Balenciaga. It's a designer, and it's the 51st Couture collection. Okay, of 2022-23 fall collection. Okay, you need to type that in. And the way you know you found it, you will see a model wearing a pure black latex looking like suit with this black molded shield over their face, looking like an android. Let me just put it to you like this. When I came across that, I don't know what's been going on lately, but everybody and their mom has loaded up all their videos, their music videos, and all of their fashion design stuff. And, I love fashion. My mom was a fashion designer back in the day, back in the early 50s, 60s, around there. Fashion designer. And so, I grew up with the fashion design world with my mom. So I love looking at fashion. I'm not all big on the names and all that. 'Cause some of their names are like horrendously big, and I'm like, whoa. Um, but I like looking at what is the concept of this person when they're making these designs. And a lot of times when you look at their designs, here we go. You ready? Pay attention. They're coding. They're talking in code. They have all these signals and designs that they're wearing. One model came out and she had like this white thing that looked like horns all the way down to her wrist, and it was white and came out like this. And then the whole bottom part was like this black dress all the way down. I said, "Wow, that looks like a something not of light. What's that?" Hmm. And they talk in all these different codes with the colors and stuff that they wear, how the sets are set up, how how things are set up in the way they're set up, and so it's very interesting. So I looked at that and the kind of music they were playing, and it turns out that who was it that was in that? Um, there was two. Okay, Naomi Campbell was in it, and then I want to think of her name. It's redhead. Just forgot her name. She was Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman was in it. Now Nicole Kidman looks different. She doesn't look like normal Nicole Kidman. I don't know what's going on, but she looks different. But she's wearing this silver, like heavy dress type of thing that's dragging the floor. And I guess everybody in this fashion is not allowed to have any expression on their face, and they're dead. And the song that they're playing for this show is done in D minor love. So it's a love theme song, but it actually sounds like an upgraded song theme song of Jaws, like da 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 da, da. I mean, this is what you're hearing the whole time when you're looking at this, and it's kind of one of those songs that'll kind of stay in the back of your mind. And you just hear da da, you know. It's really weird. I was expecting Jaws to come out at any second. So anyway, that was like really a weird fashion show. Then I saw another one. They got all their fashion shows lit up because some of them did it on July 3rd, some of them did them on the 7th, all those activated portal days when they wanted to get all their stuff out there and woo, get all that energy on their sales. And so that's what they did. So they did it around that time. And I guess they really wanted to get it all in before. So, so I looked at that and I was like, who the hell is going to wear this crazy stuff? Especially that mask thing that make you look like an android. I was just like, I mean, it's perfect. It's a black plastic like shield that goes over the face and it comes down to the jaw and you look like an android. Okay? Like just you can't tell what your face looks like or nothing. I said, what's that gonna be next? That's how we all gonna be walking. I'm not wearing that. We'll have to fight over that. I will win, guaranteed. I'm Mrs. John Wick. Anyway, anyway, not kidding. Um, check that video out because it's enough to make you laugh. It's enough to make you say, "Who the hell is going to wear this?" And Naomi Campbell, she comes out in this black dress that has this like almost like a offset black neck brace thing that's not on her neck, and it's like it kind of like looked like Saturn. Just saying, looked like Saturn a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, she had that dress on. It was like, whoa. And then there was a couple dresses that some of the models were wearing, and they were so big. They're literally doing this, trying to get the dress to the door and try to still walk and look like the model and do all their stuff. It was cracking me up. Then to lighten up the load, I saw the fashion show by George Chakra. I hope I say that right. You guys got to look that one up. Chakra, George. Oh my God. His clothes, his designs, oh my God. He did these beautiful dresses that were just flowing. I'm telling you, when I saw these dresses, the way they were designed, they were goddesses. And the way he designed it, he had it outside, but get this, the Eiffel Tower was like in the background. So if the model turned a certain way, you could see the Eiffel Tower right in the background. And it was so beautiful. He really did that. I lit up when I saw that. And then there was the colors that were he combined together that were so beautiful, and then the colors and the way the dresses were flowing when the wind was gently blowing, and these models look like descending goddesses coming down in their breathtaking armored dresses of glam, and I was just like, oh my God, this is what it should look like. This is what modeling, and they have smiles on their face, and they look pleasant. They look like they look like back in the day how models used to be. They would walk and say, you know, have their style on and smile. Now a lot of these models are walking like they're so angry when they're looking. If you're a model, you're looking so angry, non-expression on their faces. And even like I said with the other one, they are all, I mean, even Nicole Kidman, for her to not even have an expression on her face, she was trying really hard not to have an expression on her face because she has a beautiful smile. But she was trying really hard not to have an expression on her face. And I was like, that is suffering when you can't smile like you want to. That's not cool. But George Chakra, you have to look at that. That's also for 2022-23 winter collection. Just type it in. You'll see it. You'll see the beautiful dress flowing in the wind. Oh my God. Breathtaking. Love it. Love the colors. Love the vitality. Love the music that was going with it. Love the scenery background. It was like art. And it's short and straight to the point in this video. It was beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. Then we have to talk about this. I see this quick video on Sylvester Stallone having his birthday. He's age 75. And I'm like, I am the tiger. Go for it. He's 75. And I just couldn't kind of wrap my head around that. I'm like, you're 75 now? And I'm looking at him. And it's kind of odd because he was just coming out of a restaurant or something, wherever he was. And he gets into the car, but he gets in on the passenger side. And the wife, I'm hoping it was the wife, oops, hoping, gets in on the driver's side and is driving. But it was just the weirdest thing. Now, I don't know if it really was who I was looking at because there is this guy on YouTube, I think his name is Alex something, who is actually showing the art of putting on his different prosthetics of his face and going around looking like different stars, different women, and you can't tell the difference. He's literally putting on prosthetics, changing his look. The last one he did, I think it was Dolly Parton, looked just like her. Except the only thing that gave it away is that his lower body was a little bit too thin, and Dolly has some hips and has a little bit of curvature there. So that was the only tad bit. But if you first see him looking like Dolly Parton, then it would be like, oh, you would never guess. You wouldn't even think 2 seconds. And then I was just like, wow. So he showed the whole thing, how he gets ready, how he puts on his facial mask prosthetic to look exactly like somebody else. And then I caught something that Billie Eilish said. after she did this whole video about her Tourette's and all that. No, that kind of, I'm not buying that. Just not really buying that because I've seen her on those shows doing her interviews, and there was the first show that she did on Saturday Night Live where she was doing this digital light box thing that had all these different lights flashing around, and she gave the optical illusion like she was walking up on the ceiling and all this stuff. That's triggering for Tourette's. So just saying. She made a statement saying, "Oh, yes, my double went out on stage dressed like me, and nobody caught on that it wasn't me." This is why you need to have selenite because there's a lot of shenanigans going on, and we need to just cut through that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just cut through the stuff, you know? But those are some of the things that were just kind of coming up, and I was just like looking at that. I was like, hmm. And then hearing about Janina Toro and Sending Raven, her channel got taken down because she was doing Tarot and she was doing her best talking in code and stuff, and no warning, they just took her down. You said, why you do that? That woman ain't hurting you. So not cool. Not cool. Um, you guys gonna get karma? Yeah, well, don't get it. You already have karma. Karma's gonna come in a very big way. You know, back in the day, people do things wrong to people. It takes some time to get that karma. You know what I'm saying? And my grandma was really good about talking about karma and how people get it. You can have your good karma and you have your bad karma. You want to stay on the good side. You don't want to stay on the bad side. Because once you start getting the bad karma, it just infiltrates down into everything. Everything that you try to do. Everything. Try to get a house, try to get cars, try to have children. How many people did you do wrong? Think about it. They're going to be good karma for you? Nope. Especially not in this timeline. So we really, really, all of us have to be careful how we treat one another, careful how we talk to one another, um, and what kind of energy you're holding. You know, how you're holding yourself. What are you doing? How are you treating someone? You know, and I get it. There's just some elements that just they're not going to be of love to begin with. You know, they are going to be the hideaway. You know, if you haven't seen that movie, that movie is a good movie. That movie is all about a tormented dark soul, you know, who doesn't want to be of light, who wants to stay in the darkness. So right now that's what we're really dealing with. We're dealing with light and dark, and that's what's happening. So and then that's not saying that the light and dark doesn't exist in ourselves. We all have it. But there comes a time when there's a balance. You know, there's a balance. You know, you can't be all good, you can't be all bad. So there's a balance. There's a balance that we have to keep within ourselves. But yeah, these next few days, as well as the rest of this month and the next 2 months coming, if you don't have that selenite sword, I suggest you highly get one. And like I said, Soul Connection up in Mount Shasta does a really good job of having these. You know, I really thought it was just going to be a little blade. You know, I really did. But when Spirit told me, he said, "No, there's two of them in there." I was like, "What?" And I walked up on the shelf. There was two of them laying there. And I was just like, "Wow!" And put my hand on the first one. It's like, eh. Got this one. It was like, crack. I was like, "Wow!" It literally felt like, "Let the force be with you." And I was just like, "Yes." So, and I really like working with it. It's You know, it's like, come on, make my day. Shabam. So you keep it in felt or you can keep it in leather, but selenite is gonna work with you all the way up to your eighth chakra, up to the 14th dimension. That's some serious shabam. And you know what? The little ones, the little artificial ones, they can't go past they can't go past 4 or 5. They can't go past it. They don't have the frequency. So if you shift your frequency and start working on the dimensions of 6 and 7, just start working there. Start manifesting from there. Start connecting to source from there. Stop trying to connect from the third and fourth and fifth and that thing because you're still dealing with polarities in 5. You're still dealing with it. All the different ins and outs of the light and dark. You're still dealing with that in 5. Okay. And I love how Aurora, she had a good video on here also. She and this gentleman were talking about, yeah, we already did 5 in Atlanteans. We already did that. So why are we going to repeat that again? That's the thing. In this time around, we are breaking the repeat patterns because that's what entraps us is repeating things. And it's the same thing in your life. If you're constantly repeating a pattern that's generational or that's a soul energy that you keep repeating, you have to break that pattern so that you can move forward and move to the next level. It's all about that, moving to the next level. So you got to break the patterns. And sometimes going and breaking the pattern means you got to clean up stuff in your ancestral, clean up stuff in your generational line, clean up stuff with your old soul contracts, clean up stuff in your now contracts, in those timelines. That's the secret. Get rid of that. And then start fresh. Start on a higher vibration. Start on the creative vibration that gets you there. Now, I'm not saying it's all going to be champagne and roses here. I'm saying we got to do the work because what we put into ourselves, we will emanate it out. We will become that divine light of ourselves. So that's the trick. So get out of your patterns, get out of your addictions because that's what's holding you. Okay. So everyone, I hope you find the right selenite because I sure the hell found mine. I'm ready to party. Yes, I am. But I'm Mrs. Strong. I'm all about getting rid of the demons that are lurking in the dark. And some here, right here on YouTube. All right, everyone, be good to yourself. Um, just start being creative. Stay out of fear, stay out of doubt, stay out of guilt, stay out of shame, stay out of worry, stay out of those. You'll be just fine. Stay in you, your true elemental self, your true light self, your true soul self, your true divine self, and really step into yourself. And yes, you're going to have challenges. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have emotional days. A lot of emotional trauma stuff is coming up right now. Okay, so I invite you to go to those places and heal that trauma and release it. Do what you need to do to release that. We got full moon in Capricorn coming up this Wednesday. So release those traumas, let go of those things that have been traumatizing. And when I say trauma, trauma can be anything from car accidents to illnesses to bad relationships to jobs that didn't go right, the loss of a home, immediate trauma, the loss of pets, the loss of family members. That's all trauma. It's trauma. It's cellular memory trauma. And that's what I specialize in my work. Now, There's some winky dinky energy going on where somebody's playing around, and try and pay attention to your emails, because you will get people out there trying to use your emails to get you to open it up because they want to go in and mess with your accounts and do all this crazy stuff. So I caught one coming in on a client's old email thing that she doesn't even use, and I recognized it, and I called her personally. That's how I do this. I call the person personally. I say, "Hey, did you just send me an email?" She goes, "No." I said, "Oh, okay." So Lori energy of that, that's the fake one. Don't come up in my space doing that. Don't do that. You don't know what you're stepping into. You don't know what you're stepping up on. Don't do that. It's not a good idea. I just showed you my sword. Behave. Anyway, with that being said, I'm just saying, with that being said, books that I'm reviewing. I don't know. This one sounded kind of interesting. Old Styles of Conjure by Story Cost. Sounds really cool. Anyway, I'm just saying. So be good to yourselves, everyone. Do your homework. Look at your crystals. Look what works with you. Please start paying attention to what you thought you knew, okay, is not what you think it is. It's the old paradigm is going down, and it's going to be sad when a lot of people find out the truth, especially with different things with religions and stuff like that. I feel sorry for a lot of you. But, the truth has to come out. So, it's sad. This is why it's really important for you to go within to yourself and really trust and be connected to divine source, because from there you won't be tricked with all the outside energy that's wreaking havoc with you, or keeps you stuck. I shouldn't even say wreaking havoc, just keeps you stuck in a timeline that's not for your highest good. So all of us are going to be leveling up, and that light is getting brighter and brighter. I don't know if you guys noticed how bright it was today. Woo! And I don't know if you've noticed that even when it's like, pay attention to this, like midnight, like right around midnight and 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, the sky is not fully. Remember how the sky used to be really super dark? Like you could see every star and it'd be super, super dark. It's not like that now. There's so much light emanating from that sun, so much of the gamma rays, so much of the radiation of that light is literally kind of staying like that. It stays. It gets dark, but it's not super dark. Like it just pay attention. Okay. So you're gonna be feeling that dizziness, lightheadedness, and stomach aches and stuff like that. Please stay hydrated because the temperatures are high, especially if you're in California. You want to stay hydrated as much as possible. Drink that water. Drink your electrolytes because you're gonna want that. All right, lovelies. It's time to call it a night. I'm going to get some rest, do some readings, do some research, and when I do that, that means I can't. and get going for another day. All right. Be good to yourself. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you for the thumbs up. I'm just on here doing my work and helping people to make some decisions about things. And that whole employer thing, I'm sorry I had to say what I had to say. And maybe there will be some changes with some employers out there that are doing things that is not really nice. Times are changing. I went into the store the other day. 3 bags of groceries I got was $100. I remember going into a grocery store with 2 bags, lots of groceries, and just paying just right at maybe $25, $30 at the most, 2 bags of groceries. It's insane, and there's no reason for it to be happening. It really isn't. No reason for it. Sometimes the forbiddens have to be taken down. Anyway, have a wonderful evening and sleep well tonight. Another day, another die. Bye.